Yeah, in general, I will speak today regarding few aspects. Sir, are you able to see the PowerPoint presentation, sir?
Yes, sir. Full screen
Yes,
ಮಾಡಿ
yes.
sir.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, visible. Make it full screen.
Full screen ಮಾಡಿ
Yeah.
sir.
Now, yes, it is full screen, sir, now.
Now
Yeah.
okay, sir. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. A few general aspects I will be speaking today. Sorry. Regarding swarming, that is the behavior of bee leaving the colony from original hive to the new location. It happens naturally during colony division. During in the reproduction stage, when the colony is in good health, queen bee lays the eggs are laid for queen rearing, and new queen is produced, and the old queen, along with some around 50% of the workers, leaves the colony and moves to the new location, a suitable location where food and shelter is in good condition. So that is in natural condition, and other factors which influence swarming is when the accidental means maybe environmental conditions may affect, or else that colony may be attacked with any other enemies or diseases that may also induce swarming. It happens when bee colony grows stronger. So first condition is during colony division, which is a natural process. It happens during when the bee colony grows stronger, and the nature is rich in nectar and pollen. In South Indian conditions, the swarming is noticed 2 times, in October, November, and in February, March. Sometimes colony is forced to swarm due to congestion and lack of space for egg laying. So when the colony is overpopulated, that will also lead to swarming. It begins with formation of drone cells, followed by queen cells. Before a few days of swarming, around 1 month of before swarming, the process begins with production of drone cells, formation of drone cells. That is, male bees are laid, and they are taken care. And after a few days, the queen cells are also formed. Now, this is the initial observation you have to make, that the colony may swarm in a few days. After the emergence of queen, just before the emergence of queen, the swarming may happen. Other stimuli which induces worker to begin queen rearing is resource abundance. That is nectar and pollen when it is very in high quantity. A worker decides to rear, form the a few cells into queen cells and rear queen bees. In this condition, the colony size, area, volume, adult population will be area and volume will be very less, and the adult population will be high. And brood nest congestion. So when for egg laying by the queen, there will not be any space for a new space for laying of new eggs. And the number of adults also will be very high. Worker age distribution, low mean worker age, high population of young workers. In this condition, the newly emerged workers number will be very high, so that the colony will be able to function in two separate colonies. And the reduced transmission of queen pheromones. That is, when the queen is incapable of producing sufficient eggs, and queen pheromones, that is queen substance production is also reduced at the time. This may also lead to rising of new queen, rearing of new queen. Worker construct cups. Queen rearing begins and swarming happens. So construction of cup takes place. Cup means the cell of the queen, the cell produced by the workers for rearing the queen. That happens, and the young ones are fed with high quantity of royal jelly and very rich food, and the swarming happens subsequently after, just before the emergence of new queen. You can see queen cells, different pictures of queen cells, different stages of queen cells. That is in larval stage, pupal stage, and during emergence and adult stage at the last. We also discussed earlier the formation of queen cells may occur. Usually it occurs in...
Not able to hear your voice, sir.
Sir? Am I audible, madam? Sir, am I audible now? Sir, am I audible?
Yes, sir. You are audible.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, sir, you are audible. Audible.
Yeah, in the first picture, you can see the queen bees that is produced in emergency conditions. When the queen may be queen may produce means the capacity of the queen is reduced, or else the accidental death of or damage to the queen happens. In the below picture, you can see here this is in natural conditions where the queen cells are formed at the bottom edge of the comb, bottom edge of the comb. Yeah, you can see different stages, developmental stages of queen. Formation of cells by worker bees, first picture, and the larval stage of queen, pupal stage, and emergence of queen, and the adult queen. Adult queen, you can see very clearly distinguished by its size in the colony. Queen will be the largest one, and the workers will be surrounding the queen. See, you can see the picture. In the picture, there are thousands of worker bees flying in the air during swarming. And this in natural condition happens in South India in October, November, and in March season, February, March season. So you can see this visually, as well as early means how we come to know means by hearing the sound, buzzing sound of the honeybees. When the swarm is happening from one place to another, you can hear the swarming sound very clearly. It is very distinct sound. You can notice that this is the sound of swarming. And this temporarily will be settled in locations where that might be suitable for means if the hive means if the swarm doesn't get the suitable hive location within a few hours or within a day, they have to rest in some place. So temporarily, if the new hive location is longer, or else it has taken long time to search the new hive, that temporarily will rest in such conditions. You can see here on twigs or any buildings, or else on the twig, on tree, somewhere where the resting place is available, that will rest. For that may be for few hours or for few days until the new nest site is located, and all the bee worker bees moves to that location. Yeah, usually this I explained earlier. The swarming, after swarming, the bees are tend to settle, search the new hive location in nearby locations, and most of the swarms were located within 1,500 meters, 300 to 1,500 meters. Yeah, after swarming, the queen bee emerge will be indulged in mating process. You can see the queen bee on the top and drone bees, that is male bees, following the queen to make a nuptial, to make mating in nuptial flight. Yeah, we have talked about this earlier, about the reproduction, how it happens. Yeah, I have to show some photos. That's why I opened this. I have told this earlier also. Queen cells are formed during different stages, that is in natural forming conditions, situations, where naturally from 10 to 15 queen cells are formed at the lower edge of the comb. The age of queen larva varied may result in multiple swarms as different queens emerge over a period of time. That is during natural process, during swarming, if the colony strength is very, very good, the worker bees are in a very large number. At that time, what happens is queen cells are formed at the edge of the cells comb, and that may be the number may vary from 10 to 15. So comb cells formed at different time may lead to more number of swarms. That is, more than one swarm will happen in one season. It happens only in a very healthy colony with a large number of worker bees. That is, when the first queen emerges, it tends to kill the remaining queen cells. But the very younger stage of queens, the that is just 5 to 6 days or within 10 days of cells, that may not be affected by that. The queen cells, the newly emerged queen kills only the cells, queen's cells, which are about to emerge in 2 to 3 days or 4 days. So thus, before the first queen emerges, the earlier queen leaves the colony along with a few number of workers. And if again in another 15-20 days, if the new queen cell is about to emerge, then this earlier queen will leave the colony with some number of workers. The first emerged queen will leave, allowing the second queen to stay in the colony. So usually one swarm only happens in one season. In rare cases, it may be 2 swarms. And very rarely 3 swarms happens in one season in one colony. And queen cells are also formed during emergency. That is, queen cells are usually constructed on the face of the comb amid capped broods that we saw in earlier picture, where the cells are formed in the center of, almost in not on the edges, but in between the cells in middle of the comb. That is, they call it as face of the comb, not on edges. Between 1 and 3 cells in the colony are selected for worker larva that are between 1 to 2 days old. That is, when in emergency conditions, when the old queen dies or something accident happens, worker bees select 1 or 2 or 3 cells which are healthy, which are worker larvas with age less than 1 or 2 days. That is, from the earlier stage, if these larvas are fed with royal jelly, that can be converted to a queen after rearing. So that is the only difference you must know. The egg laid, the female egg lays are the fertilized eggs. All the fertilized eggs are female eggs. That is, the queen eggs are also the same eggs as of worker eggs, but the workers decides whether the egg has to be reared into a queen or into a worker. Only in these conditions, the worker bees decides to rear these eggs into queens in emergency conditions. Attempts to make queens from older worker larvae may result in intermediate forms of queens on maturation. That is, if the young stage of larva is not available, if the attempt by worker is made to rise the older larvas, that is after 4 or 5 days of its hatching, if that is fed with royal jelly later, that may result in emergence of intermediate forms that will not be either queen or nor worker. That is, the queens, such queens may have less potential to lay eggs and lesser lifespans. And in other condition is supersedure. Few queen cells are made between 1 to 5. Yeah, supersedure, I told, when the old queen is unable to lay sufficient number of eggs and keep the colony and unable to keep the colony in harmonious condition. That is, when the queen substance, that is queen pheromone production is reduced in the queen. In such conditions, worker bees decides to rear a new queen, form a new queen cell, selecting the healthy egg or early stage of larva. So in this condition, 1 to 5 cells are formed, queen cells are formed. the brood pattern is scattered or almost absent because the queen is failing, diseased or injured. Yeah, in such condition, the brood means the egg laying will be here and there. Very rarely we cells the brood cells. We find the brood cells, and number of egg laid is very minimal, or no eggs are laid by the queen in such condition because of age or disease or injury. Yeah, in this condition also, in the center of the comb only, the queen cells are or the cups are formed by the workers. The age of queen larvae is the same of so that all queen cells mature at nearly the same time. The cells selected, that is eggs or larvae selected by the worker bees, will be of similar age. So all the queens may emerge on the same day or within 2 days. Drone brood often appear in worker cells. Yeah, because of the loss of fertility, means the semens collected by the queen bee will diminish as the time proceeds. That the fertile eggs will be laid by the queen in the early stages of its life, and later when the semen count in its spermatheca, that is in sac of queen, reduces, the eggs laid by the queen will be of unfertile eggs, that is the that will not have any fertility. Thus it produces drone brood oftenly. The queen cells are present even after the normal swarming period. Yeah, in such conditions, the swarming happens by the first queen emerged, and the remaining queens are also present in such. After only the queen cells are left, all the healthy workers fly along with the first emerged queen. You can see the queen cells in swarming in first slide. You have seen this already during natural swarming. In the second one, you can see during supersedure. In superseduring, that is in the center of the comb, you see these kind of cells. Sorry. In emergency conditions, these kind of cells are formed. Sorry, this is actual picture in emergency. In emergency conditions, only around 3 cells are formed, 3 to 5, maximum of 5. But in during supersedure, there will be more number of cells formed. Yeah, this may be wrongly given. This is during supersedure. If anybody have any questions, you can interact now. Yeah, I think Sujay sir have spoken about the natural enemies of honeybees. That is pests like wax moth, ants. In wax moth, there are lesser wax moth and greater wax moth with respect to their size. The lesser wax moth is small size. Yeah.
Excuse me, sir, it is not coming on the full screen.
Now is it visible?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, Sujay sir has completed the natural enemies chapter, I think. Yeah, there are pests like wax moths and ants. Predators, that is which eats on honeybees, that is wasps and garden lizards. Wasps again includes different species of wasps in this Indian conditions, and also hornet is one of the hymenopteran species, which is found, which has led for destruction of apiculture industry in United States of America few decades ago. Hornets, those were the natively found in Japan, but somehow they were transferred to United States of America, and this led to that menace. And parasites. Yeah, you must be knowing the difference between pests, predators, parasites, and diseases. Pests it is a general term, whichever has ill effects on, say we are now dealing with honeybees. So which damage honeybees in any manner are called as pest. It's a general term. It includes everything: predators, parasites, diseases, insects, or any other mammalian pests. It's a general term. It is given here. It is referred to with respect to insects, which damages the honeybees. We can call it as insect pests: wax moth and ants. Next, the predators. Predators means those who when one organism feed on another organism, it is called as predator. Predatory behavior, that is in general, we can with other examples are like tiger or lion feeding on deer or cow. So here the tiger and lion are called as predators. The other insects or any mammals which feed on honeybees, different stages of honeybees, either adult or larva, are called as predators. Here, the other species of wasps are the one of the major predator, and lizards, garden lizards, also eats insects like chameleon and other lizards. Also eats insects. Eats these honeybee adults. And parasites. Parasites means which are on the means which feed. Usually that will be smaller than the host. Here host is honeybee. In case of predator, the host will be smaller as compared to predator. In case of parasites, host will be larger, and this parasite organism will be smaller than the host, smaller than the honeybee, which usually doesn't directly kill the honeybee, but continuously feeds and weakens the honeybee. Later it kills. That is, slow killing of the host will happen in case of parasites. There are different types of mites. That is ecto, depending on the location and how it feeds. Ecto means that externally located is seen on the honeybee, and it sucks the sap from the sucks the fluid from the honeybee, reducing its capacity. Endo means the mites or any other insects which whose larvae or younger stages are developed inside the body of the honeybee, either adult or larva. Phoratic. I'm not familiar with this term. Sorry. Other things, other mammals are also the natural enemies. That is, monkey menace is one of the problem, and other wild animals may also be a problem, like bear, wild bear in southern India. Yeah, other birds are also predatory. And diseases include thigh sac brood virus. Why it is called as thigh sac brood virus means during infection. See here you can see the affected brood of Indian bee, that is Apis cerana, with thigh sac brood virus disease. It is the early symptoms. Yeah, here most of the cells are empty, killing the young ones. You can see the black empty cells where the larvae are dead here. You can examine this holding the comb in your hand and using a needle-like structure. You can remove larva from the cell, and you can observe the dead larva. See, the dead larva is seen like this. It's a sac-like structure which is infected by virus, as it is infected on the brood. That is the younger stage of honeybee. So it is called as, and it is first reported in Thailand. So it is called as thigh sac brood virus. A similar virus also infected Apis mellifera, it is European bee, and was a menace in United States of America around 20 years ago. Yeah. Today, actually, I thought of speaking this pesticidal poisoning, that is bee poisoning. From here, Sujay sir has not covered the topic, I think. Bee poisoning happens. Naturally, it may happen because of few toxic substance in the flowers that is found in very few natural flowers, and usually bees avoid such flowers. But major reason for bee poisoning these days is the usage of pesticides on crop by human beings. Pesticide poisoning happens because of spraying on crop pest, dusting for ant nests. In such conditions, when the chemical like insecticides to kill the pests or else to control the diseases, that is fungicides or bactericides, is sprayed on the crop, which is in flowering stage, bees are usually tend to visit such flowers. So in such conditions, the bees carry the poisonous insect molecules along with the forage they have done, along with nectar or else along with the pollen collected. There are many ill effects that if the poison is too high, the adult bee may die before reaching the hive. Even if the adult reaches the hive, the food, that is bee bread, including pollen and nectar, that is fed to the young ones of the colony, the brood of the colony. In such conditions, the brood will also be injected with, that is spread of poison will be, occurs. Transfer of poison is taken with brood also. In such condition, the symptoms of bee poisoning, you must remember a few points to write in examination if asked. The large number of dead bees at the entrance of the hive. When the poison is ingested by the bee during forage, those bees, while returning back, the reaction happens within the gut, that is stomach of the worker bee, may result in metabolism. While reaching the colony itself, the bees may be dying, or else after reaching into the hive also, if it dies, the dead worker bees inside the hive, that will be pushed out of the hive. That all the dead bees are found at the bottom board or else at the entrance of the hive. These dead debris, that is the dead things, or else any debris or any unwanted material in the colony, will be removed out of the colony by worker bees. So you will find all the bees in the entrance of the hive or else on the bottom board. Bees become paralytic. A few chemicals may not kill the bees completely. It may result in paralysis of the adult bees. Unconditional movements. Yeah, these are all the symptoms of bee poisoning. When the poison is ingested, there are different, after metabolism, different symptoms are seen in the body of the, in the adult bees. Unconditional movements means movement will not be in proper condition. Movement of limbs, that is all the legs or antenna, will not be in regular condition. Abdomen distended, that is it will not be straight. The abdomen will be means that will not be held in the right position. That will be that stands along with the gravity, or else at the one side like that. Aggressiveness, that is bees will become more aggressive, and stinging behavior is also observed in mild conditions. In mild insecticide, that is pesticidal poisoning to the bees. If any other biological reactions doesn't happen, but bees will be very aggressive with very slight poisoning. Regurgitation of gut content, that is vomiting. Regurgitation of gut content happens. Vomiting like behavior by the worker bees happens. Reduction in bee population as the adult bee and dies, or else the brood also dies if fed with poisonous pollen and nectar, thus reducing the population of the hive. Dead brood seen inside the hive. Yeah, while examining, you have to remember that it may be because of Tay-Sachs brood disease also, or else it may also be because of other factors like bee poisoning. The dead brood must be examined properly. If the brood is seen in right morphological condition, it must definitely have been fed with poisonous food. If the brood is found in this condition, you can consider it as the brood infected with, the hive infected with, is infected with Tay-Sachs brood virus. Yeah, different behaviors we are speaking about now. Bee stinging. When does the bee sting? Before this, there may be chance of question arising regarding bee poisoning. You have to remember these things. How does the poisoning happens? Mostly due to the use of pesticides on the crop plants when in flowering stages. Pesticides include insecticides or else chemicals sprayed for disease control. That is, there might be bactericide or fungicide or viricides. And you must remember the symptoms. What happens in case of bee poisoning to adult colony as well as the brood. Okay, why does the bee sting? As an educated person, you must not tell that bee bites. Usually we tell that bee bites in our local language. But bees always sting from its abdomen, not from its mouth. Bee stings from its abdomen. When bees are likely to sting more? If there are more number of guard bees, that is aged worker bees of more than 20 days age is found, that is large population with many of older bees. Its function, older worker bees main function is guarding the bees, guarding the colony. With good storage of honey, when the honey storage is very good and the foraging season has ended, during that time stinging behavior is observed. But very less bees sting during foraging. During foraging, honeybees never intend to sting anybody or any person handling the bee colony. During foraging, all the concentration of the bee is will be towards foraging, collection of pollen or nectar. Even in field conditions, you can just hold a bee very smoothly and it doesn't sting usually. During foraging time, when the bee visits the flower, you can collect the bee in your bare hand and that bee never stings you. Usually, if you doesn't harm it, it never stings you because it has to take the food to its back to its colony. That will be its major intention. If it stings, the bee dies there itself. And it doesn't sting because there will not be any use for stinging. Usually, the bees usually sting in normal conditions only if you are near to the colony and if the bee feels like you are harming the colony. During a good honey storage after the foraging period, when the no flowers in the field, but there is a very good storage of honey, there will be more number of worker bees of higher age, that is after more than 20 days. Those bees tend to sting you. Previous alerting of the comb by disturbance of any kind. The comb must not be disturbed with fierce manner, means swiftly you should not, fastly you should not move the comb during beekeeping, means during rearing of the honeybee, you should not move the comb very fastly. You have to handle it very gently so that the bees doesn't feel the difference of movement anymore. If you move the bee comb very fastly, there will be more chances of stinging. Robbing by bees from other colony. Robbing is one of the terminology you have to remember that may be asked. If the bee entrance is not so, if it is weak, or else if more openings are found to the hive from the other entrances, the bees from other colony may come within, enter the colony and feed on the honey stored by those bees. So during that such time, the worker bees identifies the other bees, means bees from other colony. How they identifies? The queen substance, that is queen pheromone produced by every colony, will be unique. These worker bees will be able to identify its queen substance. Any other worker bees with other queen substance, with other odor, that will be easily identified by the worker bees, especially by the guarding bees. And those bees stings the bees from other colony. So usually honeybees from other colony are accepted by the colony only in the condition when the bee brings the forage along with it from outside. The empty-handed bees will always be considered from other colonies, is considered that it is coming to rob the food from its colony. So the bee stings on those bees. Queenlessness or supersedure. During those time, the worker bees will be more aggressive. Presence of failing queen. Yeah, it is a similar situation. Just before the queenlessness or superseduring condition, the failing queen is found during such time. Colonies under starvation. In dearth period, when the colonies doesn't have any food source, they are very hungry, and there will not be any reserve food. During such conditions, the bees will be more aggressive. Provoked by scent of some cosmetics like hairdressings. Sorry. Any pungent like odor, means substance having such odor, should not be used. Even any sharp scents that provokes the honeybees, it should not be used near the colony. And if you have applied any such scents, means that such scents must be avoided during handling honeybee colonies. During hiving or any maintenance activity, if you want to go near the apiary or beehive, you should avoid such using of such scents. Colonies with inherent character of aggressiveness. Yeah, there will be a few colonies, few rays. There will be aggressiveness which is very inherent. Means in very normal conditions also they will be more aggressive. That is genetical character. Is found in some few rays in Indian bee also, in Epicerana indica. And I want to give one example. I said there are attempts to make bee breeding, that is hybridization in bees, have also been taken place. The works on such works are taken place. And in some European country, I forgot, actually not getting the scientist name. He tried a crossing of Apis mellifera, Italian bee, with the feral bees, that is African bee. African bee or the feral bees, that is wild bees, of the same species, Apis mellifera. That is European bee. The domesticated bees are crossed with Apis mellifera, same species of wild bees, feral bees from Africa. The resulted bee was very aggressive, that he couldn't actually, those bees escaped from his hive, and they actually bred in natural conditions. These feral bees are very determinantal for beekeeping actually. These multiplied in very large number, and this affected the domesticated bee population because these both the bees feed on the same flowers. The wild bees are more aggressive, and they tend to kill these domesticated bees if they are found. So these feral bees, means the hybridized bees, which are more aggressive, they caused a decline in domesticated bee population. And inclement weather condition, when the weather is not congenial, in such time also bees are more found to sting more. During in sunny time, that is in afternoon, if the colony is exposed to the sun, the bees tend to sting more. Or in any rainy conditions or in cold conditions also, bees tend to sting. So hiving activity we take up usually after 4 p.m. after the um, peak sunrise condition is over. During evening hours, bees will be a little calmer, and it is the most congenial time for hiving. And for monitoring, you can monitor during early morning hours before 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock in the early morning, or else you can monitor during evening hours, that is after 4 p.m. During noon time, the bees will be more aggressive because of high temperature. Yeah, if a question is asked regarding stinging behavior, you have to mention these points. How can we prevent ourselves from bee stings or minimize the bee stings? Use protective clothing. That is, two-layered or thick cloths must be used. Apply smoke over the frames and at the entrances. While handling the bee box, we have to apply the smokes so that the aggressiveness of the bees reduces. Do not open hive in extreme weather conditions. Yeah, too hot, cold, or windy or rainy conditions, you should not open the hive. And again, you should not open the hive standing in the entrance, because in the entrance, when the bee comes to the gate, it always flies straight to the entrance, and then only later it moves to a different direction. So you should not stand in front of the gate, in front of the entrance while handling the hive. You should always stand at one side, or else at the backward direction, means behind the entrance of the hive. While examining, cover the rest of the combs with cloth. If you want to examine one cloth, monitoring or examining the cloth is very important to see the health of the bee colony, whether the queen is laying eggs in sufficient number. That is, you must the eggs must be seen in all the season continuously. You have to monitor that if the eggs are laid in sufficient number, and the health of the bee colony must also be monitored during examination. That is, if there are any diseases or any pest attacks, or else any openings in other than the gate, these things we have to see. And the food storage, that is, if the forage is done very good, then the pollen collection and pollen cells and honey cells will be in good number. That is considered as reserve food in off season, that is during rainy season. at least a minimum quantity of honey and pollen must be left inside the colony for the survival purpose of the colony. These things must be examined, and you must handle it very gently. I told there must not be any swift movements, fast movements of near the hive. You should not move yourself, as well as you should not move the frames while you are handling. Avoid jerking of frames. Yeah, that's what I said. Sudden movement of frames must be avoided. Avoid cruelty to bees while manipulating. That is, you should not harm the bees. If any one bee is harmed, that if one bee stings on you, the scent of that sting, that is called as alarm pheromone. The pheromone, one kind of pheromone is produced in honeybees during stinging. That is called as alarm pheromone. Alarm pheromone that is sensed by the remaining guard worker bees. They all tend to attack near where the alarm pheromone came from, and they can identify you even if you move few meters away from the location, and they used to follow you. So open the hive preferably during active foraging hours. During early morning or in the evening, there will be active foraging hours. During foraging time, the most of the workers will be concentrating their energy on foraging. Most of the workers means the most population of the workers are involved in foraging activity. Thus, the guard bees will be absent in such conditions near the hive. If the sting is, if the bee stings, the treatment must be taken only if necessary. Usually, the poisoning due to sting varies from person to person because of their genetical constitution. Few may have reactions allergic to. Few may be allergic to these bee poisons, and few will have capacities to tolerate this. There will not be any much reactions. Application of cooling agent locally, like soothing effect, cold water or ice packs, etc. To avoid the fast reaction, the allergic reaction by the bee venom. Antihistamine ointments are available. You can apply those antihistamine ointments. Histamine is a kind of venom also secreted by some snakes. There are antihistamine tablets also available, or injections is also available. This must be taken in guidance or with the aid of qualified doctors. Most of our government hospitals in India have this medicine. If a person is too much allergic to these bee venom, they can have treatment in any of the hospitals. Usually, they will be having antihistamine tablets or injections in hospitals. And absconding. Absconding is a behavior that the bees, after leaving the colony, it doesn't return back to the colony. Why? There might be different reasons. One, starvation, no forage source in the locality. So bees may leave that colony and may not return to the hive. Or decline in strength. Or high temperature, unable to regulate. So due to high temperature or any other extreme conditions of weather, bees may leave the colony. Presence of diseases or pest. This also leads to absconding. Swarming and absconding are two different terms. Swarming is movement of hive from one locality to another locality and settling there. Usually it happens during for the purpose of division of the colony. But absconding is just leaving the present hive. It may happen in group or else in individually. Why the bees abscond? Due to these reasons: starvation, no forage in the locality, and these are also the causes for failure of beehives. Newly hived colonies doesn't stay in the bee box, and these are all the main reasons. No storage for food in the forage source in the locality. There is no flowering plants in the locality. This may be during one season or maybe for a prolonged time, and decline. Very less number of worker bees or very population, lower population colonies cannot defend itself, and it leaves such a colony. In such condition, in very low population condition, there is a technique called as union of colonies. There is a technique to unite two colonies. As queen substance from one colony will be different from other colonies, those worker bees doesn't allow workers from other colony. So there is a technique to unite these two different colonies. As there is a technique to divide the colonies for the purpose of formation of new colony, there are techniques to unite these colonies in case the population is very low. And high temperature, unable to regulate. Yeah, in such conditions, the bees leaves the colony. Presence of disease or pest, bees leaves the colony. Frequent disturbance of any matter, any kind, maybe while monitoring or else due to some movement of animals, domestic or wild animals, the bee box, if it is disturbed by even by monkeys or any kind of for that matter, any disturbance to the colony, then the bee tends to abscond. And too much of old combs, that is when the combs are formed with the secretion, glandular secretion of the workers. I told around 10 to 11 kgs of honey is that much of energy is utilized to form 1 kg of comb, that is the wax, which is used in, that wax is used in construction of combs. When the combs are new, then as the time passes, that will be utilized for many purpose. For egg laying, that in the same cell, the brood will be taken care, and the emergence of worker or any drones or queen bees takes place. And a few cells are used for collection of pollen grains and honey, that is nectar is converted to honey and it is stored in few cells. As the time proceeds, more number of brood cells, means in brood cells, more generations of bees are taken up repeatedly. After a few generations, 2 or 3, 4 generations, the quality of the comb reduces. It tends to turn dark in color. It will be brittle, and due to change in temperature during different seasons. After 1 year, usually the comb will not be of good condition for bees to stay there. How to prevent absconding, that is leaving of the colony by the bees. Leave adequate quantity of food storage, provide supplementary feeding. That is, during the end of the foraging period, like in the May month, when the forage, we will harvest the honey during that time. Usually 20%, usually 20% capacity of the honey, total capacity must be left over for feeding of the for survival purpose of the that colony. Those adult will be feeding on the honey during the off season, because that honey and pollen are stored in the colony for the purpose of bees to feed itself during the off season. Sorry. We have to leave adequate quantity of food in the colony, in the comb, or provide supplementary feeding in case there is no food left over. Supplementary feeding, I told once, 50% sugar solution is used as supplementary feeding. It must be given in different conditions. One, immediately, as you know, during the off season, when the food source is not available, you have to supplement the food source by giving it artificially. Second condition is when we in the stage of initial hiving, when we hive the new colony, we have to give sufficient feed so that the bees doesn't leave that place because of shortage of food. And during movement of shifting of the bee colony, in short, place shifting from one point to another point, if you want to move the bee boxes, you have to feed, there must be sufficient quantity of brood in that, or else food source must be present in the combs, that is in the colony. Nectar, that is honey, pollen, and brood, sufficient number cells must be filled with these things. Then only the bees doesn't leave the colony. Absconding doesn't happen. Provide brood combs. Yeah, brood combs can be shifted from one colony to other colony. I told in earlier condition, when the bee colony is very weak, you can unite that with other colony, or else you can introduce brood comb into that colony. A brood comb of very healthy colony can be transferred to the colony which are weaker. These brood comb, it doesn't make any difference. The worker bees doesn't differentiate the broods from other colony. They rear these brood cells, and the colony strength will be improved. Now, provide young, healthy queen. If the queen is absent, you have to provide with young, healthy queen. These queens can be taken from the cells with multiple queen cells. One of the queen can be transferred before its emergence to this to the colony where the queen is absent, and the queen can be emerged in this cell only, in this colony itself. Ensure that egg laying continues along with the honey flow period. Honey flow period is availability of food, that is forage. Honey flow period is the flowering season in the locality, is called as honey flow period. Major flowering season is called as honey flow period. During that time, egg laying also must be continued. That indicates the health of the queen as well. Keep queen gate in position. That is, if the queen leaves the colony, along with that, worker bees will also leave the colony. So in such conditions, if you suspect that the colony may abscond, in such conditions, forcefully also you can keep the queen gate at the entrance of the bee box, so that the queen doesn't move out of the colony. Keep colonies in protected place where the sun rays directly doesn't fall and the disturbance from wild animals or any disturbance doesn't happen to the colony, and protect from pests and diseases. Migration if dearth prevails, if possible. That migration means to the new location where the food is available. If it is available in plenty, you can do the migration. Or else, if it is not possible, you can supplement with other food source, artificial food source. Or else you can also feed with natural honey also. It will be a little bit costlier. Or else if it is available with other boxes, other colony, you can take that comb frame and you can place it in the colony where the honey source is not available. Laying worker colony, it is found, I told, when the worker bees start laying eggs, when in queenlessness conditions, it happens. Sorry, I will take a 2 minutes break. You can revise what I told, and if you have any questions, you can write it down and ask me. I'll be back in 2 minutes, please.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Students, you can take break for 5 minutes and come back. Be connected. Sir has taken break for 5 minutes.
Madam, shall we wait for another 2 minutes?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Are all learners back, madam?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can start, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Just now we studied about why the absconding behavior happens and how can we prevent absconding. You have to write down these terminologies. You can't remember it if it is new terminology to students. You have to write down it and practice writing it again and again and pronounce it again and again. Without writing, you cannot recall all the names. You have to practice more. And there is another situation we discussed earlier in different times. That is laying worker colony. Why does the worker lay egg? I told what will be the condition of worker eggs. That is, that will not be a fertilized egg. Hence, the worker eggs will always produce a drone. not female young ones. That is not workers or queen. Worker eggs can also only be converted into reared into a drone cell. So why does these workers start laying eggs in condition of queenlessness for a longer period because of accidental missing of queen? When the queen is absent for more than a few days, that is more than a week, we can say more than a week, then the worker starts laying eggs, and a few fertile earlier eggs laid by the queen may be converted to queen cells, and worker starts laying eggs to produce drone cells along with that. And that is the one condition while the queen is missing. Other condition is divided colony unable to develop its own queen. In natural condition, this is very very rare. But in beekeeping, while in our practice, we usually divide the colony to make more number of colonies. In such conditions, sometimes if the queen is not included in the colony by mistake, or else if the queen is not available, in such condition also worker starts laying eggs. And if earlier fertile eggs are found, that will be modified to produce modified into a queen cell to produce a fertile queen, and that will be reared, taken care by the workers. So in such condition also worker lays eggs. And other condition is the failing queen. If the queen fails to lay egg, that is maybe due to the aging factor, or else due to exhausting of semens collected in its spermatheca, or else maybe due to unmated queens. That is the condition. In such condition also queens fail to lay eggs, fertile eggs. In such condition also worker starts laying eggs to produce the drones. How to identify it? How can we differentiate worker laying worker colony with eggs laid by fertile queen? How can we differentiate? Each cell of the I don't have photos here. Each cell of the hive contains one egg in normal conditions. That is, only one egg is laid in one cell by a healthy queen. But when the egg is laid by a worker, that will be maybe 2 or 3 eggs are found in one cell. That is not uniform distribution of eggs will not be there in case of worker laid colony. And the eggs laid will not be erect. That is, in case of the eggs laid by the queen bee, the eggs will be attached to the bottom of the cell, which will be straightly attached in say perpendicular to the cell. But in case of worker laid colony, the eggs will be facing different directions, and there will be multiple eggs in one cell. 2 to 3 eggs is found, and worker bees will be more aggressive because of absence of queen, or else due to starvation or many reasons. That workers will be more aggressive in such conditions, which tend to sting the beekeeper. Presence of more number of drones after a month of this process, more number of drones you can see. Capped cells, you can differentiate the drone cells with the worker cells by its cap. Cap formed on the cell will be flat in case of it is worker cells. If it is the drone cell, the cell is usually a little larger and cap will be bulged. So you can find more drones in such colonies. More number of drones is also seen in natural conditions in reproductive phase of the colony. That is during the queen cell formation and natural swarming season. You should not get confused by that. If more drone cells are found, you should examine other differences. That is, the eggs, if it is single eggs in single cell, and all the all the stages of brood or honeybee is found in the hive, and the health of the hive, it is all good, then it is a natural process found during more number of drones are also found during swarming reproductive phase of the colony. What to do with laying worker colony? In laying worker colony, that is generally queen will be always absent and the colony strength will be lower. In such condition, there will be only a few hundreds or only 1,000 number of workers in that colony, less than 1,000 or 2,000 number of workers in a colony. In such condition, you can unite with other colonies. But unition, I told there is a technique. You can't just simply leave those workers to other colonies. If you leave in such condition, the workers of that colony may kill the newly introduced worker adults. Okay, this is about laying worker colony. And other aspect is robbing. Robbing is stealing of food source from one colony. One colony individual will rob the food from other colony. It also happens with different species of honeybees, and also within the species. In the same species, other colony workers involved in robbing of honey, usually, sometimes pollen from one colony to the other colony. What happens if robbing continues? Why does it happen? Because weak defense and entrance of the colony will be multiple entrance of the colony, and lower strength of the colony, weak defense, all these are the factors. And the availability of food source, that is usually it happens in off season. If the forage is available in plenty, robbing doesn't happen in natural conditions. What happens if robbing continues? Consequences of robbing. The colony may be loss of colony, and due to movement of one worker to the other colony, from one colony to the other colony, if the disease is found in that colony, it may transmit the disease from one colony to the other colony. And absconding of colony may also happen due to continuous robbing is seen. These the host worker bees may decide to leave that colony. So we have to prevent this. Factors that instigate robbing. Why does it happen? What happens is acute shortage of food happens if the robbing continues. Expose of combs for long duration dearth period. If the combs are exposed during the dearth period, that is, entrance is weak, then the robbing happens. More cracks and crevices in the hive. Yeah, if the more entrance is found, the robbing happens. Providing feed outside the hive. If you provide the artificial feed, that is sugar syrup, 50% sugar syrup. If we feed it outside the hive, on top of the top board, or else outside anywhere, if you keep that, other wild bees or rock bees in South Indian conditions, and even in all over India, rock bees are found. These rock bees may also feed on these artificial feeds what you have given for your colony. Also, wild bees of Apis cerana indica may also feed on these feeds, food source what you have given. So you have to keep artificial feed always inside the colony, that is below the top board, top cover, below the top cover, and you can you may not use the super chamber if in the dearth period only brood chamber is covered with the top cover. Below the top cover, you can keep the feed above the frame, or else in Apis mellifera there is a structure for means a frame. One of these brood chamber frames can be replaced with artificial feeding frames. These frames can be filled with artificial feed and kept in that. Or else on the top of the frames also you can give artificial feed in a plate or bowl like structure with coconut coir or any such material to support the bees to stand and feed. Providing food only to few of the colonies in the apiary. In that period when the all the colonies doesn't have the food, if you provide only to few colonies, other hive bees may also tend to visit these colonies and rob this food. And this may also lead to death of the colony, fighting between the worker bees. So the strength of the colonies may also be reduced. So you have to give feeding uniformly to all the colonies. And these artificial feeding must also must always be given only in the evening hours, so that in the morning hours the natural instinct of the honeybees to forage must be retained. You have to allow the natural foraging of the honeybees, and only during the evening hour, if it is not available, then only you have to feed to maintain the interest of the honeybee to avoid absconding. Only as a preventive measures, not as a luxury. It has to be given only on necessity basis. Artificial feed must be given on necessity basis. Only during the evening hours after 4:30 or 5 o'clock. These are all few aspects I plan to speak today. If anybody have any questions?
I have a simple question.
Yes.
See, what has been said, or you have also told, that the honey box, it is a lower board, then brood chamber, then honeybee, queen bee excluded, then super, then outer cover. See, we are talking about swarming, we are talking about super seeder, we are talking about absconding, we are talking about mating. How the queen bee will go out? Because we have kept her in the such that she cannot go out.
Yeah, in all the conditions, the entrance of the beehive will not be closed with the queen gate. In foraging period, while the honey flow season, what we call honey flow season, while the more number of flower sources available, food sources available for bees, we keep the queen gate open.
Okay.
In such condition, a queen bee does never leaves the hive, and we have to close it in while we found that situation or absconding behavior or swarming in that season. We have to close the gate in such condition. Uh, the natural behavior what I spoke was in natural conditions during such season in October, November in southern India, October, November, and February, March. It happens naturally in natural conditions, and also in our AP area also it may happen in when the large number of workers strength is found in one colony, and there is no space for additional egg laying for queen bee. If the this one combs are not sufficient for egg laying, it is completely laid with eggs or filled with honey or pollen or completely broods are developing. In such condition, when large number of workers emerge, in such conditions, the old bees usually leaves that colony. Before
So we
leaving, they will prepare the colony for new queen.
so in that case we allow the queen bee or the
You
older
can
queen bee to go
artificially you
out
can manage that. You can
by supervision.
priorly yeah before the swarming occurs, you can identify that. If you monitoring is important because you different stages. Yeah, you can know swarming before 15-20 days earlier only. Does it swarm by the strength of the colony and by the season of in which season it is there. If it is developing in good number, the swarming may occur. If the production of queen cells have occurred, you can see that observe that 20 days prior to emergence of the queen. If queen cells are formed, you can separate that before swarming only, so that swarming doesn't happen. You can use that new colony in your appearance. You can shift it to the new box. You can use in such manner.
So uh, so another point is that we can make a bee bank also, a queen bee
Be
bank
rearing. Yeah, it's
by
there
swarming
is
and
a technique.
super seeder
Yeah,
process.
it's in the syllabus, I think.
Acha, okay,
Mm,
sorry.
yeah, sorry, it is in the syllabus. I saw it now. Yes,
Acha.
there is a last chapter in your textbook, seasonal and specific management. In that, there is a last chapter called as Queen Bee Management. Okay, I will be. Uh, if you want, I can tell about this.
Okay,
I don't have any
you
slide.
might be taking it later on also, I think.
Yeah, it takes long time. If
Okay.
you are interested commercially, if you are keeping the bees, one
Mhm.
main source for income is honey and pollen, venom, resins, royal jelly. These things are there. Along with that, you can also sell the new colonies to new beekeepers.
Okay.
Yeah. To make
So,
that, there is a technique called as mass queen bee rearing technique.
okay.
It is not just what we spoke now was in natural conditions, one colony will be divided into two, or how much you can make, as many as the number of queen cells are available. If five, excuse me, if say some five queen cells are available, you can divide those queen cells and place that in new colonies with some number of workers, and you can make separate cells in each colony. You can graft those. You can graft these queen cells before emergence to the new box. Uh, there will be a rearing box, or else you call it as B hiving box, which contains of only 4 frames. That will be smaller box than usual. In such box, you can place these queen cells along with some number of workers and brood cells attached to that. When the queen bee emerges from that, that will function as a new colony. You can divide if there are more number of workers available, up to 5, 6 colonies. You can divide one colony into such numbers. That is in natural conditions. You can harvest those things. Harvest the queen cells produced naturally. Otherwise, there is a technique called as mass queen bee rearing techniques. Okay, in that you need different tools, and queen bee rearing cells are artificial cells are used in that, where you can graft the egg or larva. In the early stage of the egg or larva can be harvested from a fertile a very healthy colony that can be grafted to the queen bee rearing cell, and that can be introduced with a good number of worker bees, and these workers feed these queen cells with royal jelly, and you can produce as many as queen cells as possible. The limitation is the presence of good number of worker bees to feed the queen bees. So in one box only you can produce say 20 to 30 number of queens in one frame itself. There are different tools for this. You must I can't explain it now. If I can make some PPT, I don't have a PPT on this. I will try to present it in the evening class from 6 to 8. We have another class today evening. In the evening 6 to 8 class, I will try to present these queen bee rearing techniques. Yeah, if you want this in detail, I'll prepare a presentation on this, and I will try to explain this.